There we go.
Can everybody see me and hear me okay? Yes? No? Okay, hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. Yes, okay, good. Okay. I have this strange delay. I'm hearing myself about 5 seconds after I speak. It's really odd. So that this is going to throw me off, but I'll do my best to focus, even though I hear an echo of me.
Just turn your volume on. Just turn your volume on.
Okay, all right. Hopefully, technical difficulties aside, how is everybody doing? I can't tell you how excited I am. I have been so eager about this book. This book and of course my very first book, but this is a special book to me. So the echo's gone, so that's much better. Do you guys mind putting in the chat? Where are you? Where are you located right now? Katie's listened to it twice already. Katie, how's that possible? Portugal, Chicago, Mexico, the UK. Yeah, please, everybody. Lynn, how are you? UK, Mexico, California. What part of California? Arizona, Wisconsin, Ireland, Pakistan. Welcome. Toronto, Norway, Northern Canada. Welcome. Look at all the Canucks and other Canadian. Welcome, everybody. Phenomenal book. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Did you there's no way. Did you listen to all of it already? Vienna, Austria, New Zealand, New Brunswick, Long Island, forget about it. Guatemala, amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Santiago, Chile. First 8 chapter. Okay, another Aussie. Germany. What part of Germany? Holland. Oh, Yvonne, welcome, Yvonne. Rua, welcome. Playa del Rey, California. Georgia. Oh, so you're ready? Some seems like a lot of you are ready to listen to it. Got the Audible. Great. Jason, welcome, my friend. Croatia. Sign the petition for RJ to read his next book in the New York Italian accent. I would love to do that. That'd be pretty funny. Dallas, Alberta, Orlando, Stuart, Florida, Missouri, Jamaica. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh my, it should be free. That's right. Armenia, Alabama. Yeah, so did you, for those of you that have listened to the book, that one section where I talk about, I don't know if that was the chapter on money manifestation or that was the chapter on, oh, I don't remember. But I remember narrating it in that voice. It should be free. I remember actually doing that. So, Indiana, Serbia, Portugal, welcome, welcome. Macedonia, Michigan, Circe, get out of here. Betty, you're about 15 minutes away. Okay, so all right, so I have to ask, Vancouver. Okay, have most of you Puerto Rico, welcome, welcome. Okay. I have a feeling those of you, because obviously you could read the Kindle. Paperback, you probably don't have yet, I'm assuming, right? Does anyone actually have the paperback in your hand? I would think not yet, right? Oh no, you might have gone to a local store. I guess that's how you could do it. You could have gone to a local store and gotten it. Kindle, no paperback yet. Okay. Audible, right? Shipped today from New York. What part of New York? And I'll throw my accent in there. Vaughn, you got the paperback already. Excellent. Excellent. Very exciting. This is great. You're telling me I can just go and get it right now? Yeah, it's available. Yes, yes. I mean, if your local store has it, you could go get it in person. Yeah, I mean, you could order it from. It's finally on Amazon. Hey, thanks, Amazon. So Amazon doesn't do pre-orders on paperbacks anymore, unless you're with Simon and Schuster or Penguin. So they like to penalize the little guy. So you can finally get the paperback on Amazon now, but it wasn't available to order on Amazon until today. But they made the Kindle available and they made the Audible available. But right, Barnes and Noble, Walmart's already sold out. Walmart is already sold out. Get the Kindle today. Yeah. Audible is awesome. Glad you enjoy it, Jason. The intro poems are powerful. Yeah. It was fun to narrate too. It really was. It was truly fun. I enjoy the narrating of the books. There's no way to I forget who I was saying this to. There's no way to like prepare or practice like narrating a book. Like we never just kind of like grab a book and start embodying it and reading it out loud. I mean, do you? But I mean, I don't. So it's an interesting thing. You can't prep for it or practice or anything like that, but you can just let yourself be just completely engrossed and engulfed in it. And that's happened for all the books. Obviously, I didn't get to narrate Supercharged, but every book I'll ever do from now on, obviously, I'll do the narration. You love the poems? Tina, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Tina's my super agent. She's in there. So why is this book so special to me? Oh, well, that's a good question. I would say for a couple of reasons. It signifies the recommunion with God. I remember those instances, and I remember the instances I was in Kauai, and then there were more, but the first time yet again. So it signifies the communion with God. So that to me is kind of paramount. So also the what I was able to pull together, meaning the communion with the some of my other incarnations, and to be able to tap into those things, and to be able to bring forth really the supreme teachings in terms of metaphysics, and to be able to do that through communion or unification with some of my other incarnations. It was challenging. It's challenging to do that, and then on the other side of the coin, it's not. So I know that's kind of a weird answer, but I just know how important the work is, this book, and so it's just really special to me, and also I think the fact that I didn't have to alter it to fit within the confines of the political correctness, or however you want to say that, of a traditional publisher. So this book, word for word, is exactly how I wanted it to be. And that's the first time I can say that. And I'm not saying I didn't get my vision across in the other books, because I did, but I definitely had to make changes in the other books, and that's because of the traditional publisher that I had. This one, I did not. I didn't have to change anything that I didn't want to change or didn't make sense. So that's very, very liberating and empowering. even as a writer, to not have to make any kind of changes. This is exactly how I wanted it to come out. So that's very exciting. That's right, Tina. It was all me. Yeah. So, and Tina will back up. When I handed this in a long time ago, I said that my old publisher is never going to publish this. I said it, I don't know what, a year and a half ago. I said they're not going to be able to handle it. So, anyway, I got 4 copies for me and my friend. Picked oh, wonderful, Monica. You know what? I'm going to make a request, my friends. I'm going to make a request, okay? I know most of you here have probably already ordered a copy, either the paperback, the Kindle, the audio, or all 3. Specifically because of the section on money manifestation, which I believe is chapter 14. I believe it's chapter 14. And well, I'll tell you a story first. So when I was in the studio, and this was space to record, to narrate it. And this was the same studio that I recorded Access Superconsciousness, and it was the same tech, studio tech that I worked with before. It's a local in Little Rock. Dreamscape was able to rent some studio space in a locally for me, so I didn't have to fly somewhere to do anything. But anyway, it was nice to be back there again and to have the same tech. And when I read I think it's right. Is it chapter? Let's be accurate, shall we? Yeah, chapter 14, Metaphysical Mastery of Money Manifestation. There's a lot of M's. Okay. So anyway, so when I was reading that, narrating it, I was in I was really able to get into a deep flow state when I was narrating this. And at one point I didn't stop or make a mistake for 2.5 hours straight, which is kind of crazy, but it was just flowing. But the interesting thing is that ended after I read chapter 14. It was several chapters, and then I concluded with chapter 14. And that's when I stopped after going for about 2.5 hours. And the tech looked at me, and I could hear her through here, and what she said to me about that chapter, how life altering listening to that chapter was for her. That specific chapter 14 on money manifestation. And so the request I'm going to make of everybody is, I know that you know someone that you care about deeply that's probably struggling with finances, making money. I'm actually going to ask that you get them a copy. Get them a copy for $15, $20, whatever it cost. I don't remember. But I want you to get them this book and hand them that and tell them that chapter 14 is what they've been searching for in terms to understand how to manifest money. So order one more for someone that you care about who's struggling, okay? So, and I know there's lots of people that can't afford to take a course with me. I get it. But most people can afford a book. But I also think most people don't realize what's actually available to them, the teachings that are actually available, the transformation that's actually available for them. So please go ahead, think of that one person, whoever that is, a friend of yours, someone at work, your sister, your brother, your daughter, right? Your son, whoever. Just pick up one copy to that one person and give them this book. And I appreciate that. I really do. Economic vitality and economic independence is so important. It's so important. And we're going to see this, mark my words, we're going to see this play out over the next couple of years. Just what I'm talking about, the ability to be self-sufficient and to generate money is going to be even more important now and what's upcoming. So yeah, daughter, granddaughter, whoever it is, because I know we all know one person who's struggling, trying, but struggling. It should be free. Yeah, that's my favorite, right? Oh, Yvonne, you already received 2 books by mistake. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. But yeah, please, everybody, that is my request. I know if you've already bought the book, I'm asking you to buy it again. But yes, I'm asking you to buy it again for somebody else. Please do so. We need to know how to do this. We need to know how to do this. Okay. So I think I saw, I don't know if it was an email or a message. I saw it. There were a couple of people that said they set their alarm for midnight so they could then listen to the Audible. I almost started to cry, and I really mean that. That was just unbelievable. When you write these books and do these courses and things like that, and I'm so focused in the moment of everything that I'm doing, being present. But when you get emails like that and messages like that, people set their alarm to get up at midnight the second that the book is available, it's so humbling. There's no words. You have no idea. It's so humbling. It's just absolutely incredible. Okay. So another thing too, I want to mention. As you know, this is the third, or if you don't know, this is the third book in a row of August 8th, August 8th, August 8th. Right. So Change Your Mind was in 2023. Acts of Superconsciousness was last year, 2024, and now Law of Attention, 2025, all on August 8th. Okay, that is clearly by my design, right? This is not random, right? So this particular, and it's called the Lion's Gate. You guys might have heard about this. Now, the reason why I want my books, or I have my books, come out, and it culminates today, is because the way that the energies are, without me going on and on about that stuff, but the truth of the matter is, right now is incredibly ripe for manifestation and for success if you work with yourself properly. And that's why I have my work come out on those days. So those that avail themselves of the work of the books and start working with themselves properly and optimally from the teachings, it's like the energies are primed for success. And that's why I have them come out on those days. It's a very, very auspicious day. Yeah, it's kind of like a manifestation portal. So that's why it's out today. And again, get a copy for someone who's struggling, and just tell them, hey, start with chapter 14. Just go right to that. You can read the rest of the book for sure, but just go right to chapter 14. Okay. 8 seconds for light to go from the sun to the earth. Yeah. San Clemente, California, beautiful part of California, by the way. Okay, so has anyone actually, super high frequency energy, exactly. Has anyone actually read it? I know a lot of you have read the whole thing. I know a lot have listened, but has anyone actually read it already? Because that would be kind of tough. Yeah, you can start with chapter 14. Sure. I'm talking about specifically about money manifestation. Money manifestation. Yeah, I would assume we haven't quite finished it yet, right? I mean, you could if you sped through it, I guess, right? But it's definitely possible to listen to it. I think it's is it like 7.5 hours? It seems like it. The Audible, I think it's actually something like that. Give or take. So that can be listened to. Well, it's still 7.5 hours on the first day that it's available. Yeah. It was oh, and by the way, everybody, if you see that link that was just put in there, so next weekend we're going to be doing the first time I'm doing a virtual workshop. I've done in-person workshops, many of them, and in-person retreats, but I wanted to celebrate this book and be able to, because the audience, the students across the globe are interested in this. I didn't want to do it in a physical location that would make it very, very difficult for people from all over the world to come to do a workshop based upon the teachings in this book. So next weekend, we're going to do our first live virtual workshop. We'll spend all weekend together, and we're going to go very far into the teachings of this book. The price point is very, very low for us to spend the entire weekend together. So if you haven't signed up, do it. Just do it. We'll be able to spend the whole weekend together. We're going to do the time travel meditation together. We're going to talk about some of the spells by Merlin. We'll talk about some of the other things that even occurred with the communion with God that was captured a few times. I think there's like, I don't remember, but maybe like 5 times in the book. I forget. Maybe about 5 times where I put the communion with God in there. Link for a workshop is an error. You sure? Error 400 on the website. I wonder if there's because there's so many people clicking on it, but I'll have someone will be looking at that. And of course, it's recorded too. It's absolutely recorded. So if for some reason you're unable to make it live, it will be recorded. But I've never done a live virtual workshop, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be incredible. And it's one thing to read the book or listen to the book, right? It's another thing for us to be able to go over it together, and for me to give you sort of like even deeper and wider insights into the context around it, if that makes sense, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I broke the internet. I'm not really sure, but hopefully with the link. But that's next weekend, and it was important to me that everyone can join, and that's why I decided let's just do it virtually, because we were going to do it here in Little Rock. We were going to do it, and then the more I thought about it, it's like, there's so many people that would want to be able to participate in this. They're just not going to be able to, come from Portugal and the UK and all over the place. So it's like, let's just do it virtually. Yeah. So this is some of the most auspicious days and time of the year to focus in on what it is that you want to manifest. This Lion's Gate, and specifically 8/8, which is today. So start your work on the book, right? Especially chapter 14, and get an extra copy for somebody who you care about who's struggling, specifically with finances. Yeah, Tina, you can catch the replay even if you're traveling. So, and there is a way to book a one-on-one with me as well. So there's the virtual workshop, and there is a way to add on a one-on-one. I've been doing a few of those lately because of the demand. I like working with people. It's just the demand got too big, and I couldn't continue doing that anymore. Yeah, there's only a few one-on-one spots left. So does anyone have a part of the book that they either listened to or read that really, really struck them? That really was a big impact? That's why I got the book, chapter 14. That's why I put it in there. I know how much humanity needs the metaphysical understanding of how manifestation actually works, not the spiritual fiction bullshit that's out there. I want to give you tangible protocols. These are not theories or beliefs. This is actually magic. This is actually how you do it. I have 50 pages that I copied and put in a special. What was that? 50 pages. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, the first communion with God. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big deal. The vampire ball is over section is short and powerful. Yeah. Don't you like that subtitle? The vampire ball is over. So true. So true. Uh, chapter 7 and 8 are off the chart. What? How funny, right? I actually have to look. Which one, Jason? Which ones are 7? Oh, is false light? Is false light in there? Let me see. Oh no. Okay, the 4 anchors that human consciousness imprisons itself with. This is, yeah. It's amazing how we don't know this. How everyone walks around literally completely imprisoned through these 4 anchors. It's incredible. And then chapter 8, the only way to win is not to play. You got that right. Oh, that's got the time. So chapter 8's got the time travel meditation. It's got unification with God. It's got the poem Freedom. Oh, this is a good chapter. I see why you picked 7 and 8, Jason. Without a doubt. What about chapter 9? How to remove the spell of aging and dying? That was straight from good old Merlin, right? Did you guys do that one yet? Did you guys have you guys gotten to chapter 9 yet? Remove the spell of aging and dying. There is a way to look like you're 40 almost forever. Wink, wink. Yeah, it's you like chapter 7 through 9. Yeah, I too prefer. So I have changed a little bit. So I don't read books anymore. I read my own, but I don't read books anymore. I stopped reading books years ago. I didn't want anything to somehow like slip into my subconscious, and then I just don't even realize I'm regurgitating it. So, but I do now enjoy reading and listening at the same time, and sometimes just listening. So I'm a much bigger fan of Audible than I would say than I thought I would ever be. But again, I don't listen to I don't listen to other people's books. But just the act of listening on Audible, I actually really enjoy and get a lot out of it. Because if it's someone who's really embodying what it is that they're saying, it's quite powerful. It's quite powerful, and you guys know I get completely carried away. So it's interesting to listen and then to read. And when I had to do the final pass through on this before I said I was done, there were times when I was reading this, and it hit me really really hard. Like I had to stop. I literally just had to stop. I mean, it was affecting me. That was that powerful. I know that sounds funny. It's like, well, you wrote it, but yeah, yeah, but still, it's it hit me probably in the way that it hits you. So, oh, I appreciate that, Janet. And I wish I had the opportunity to go back and re-record Supercharged Self Healing. Not going to happen. We've tried. We've tried. So that'll be the only book that I don't narrate. But there's really nothing I can do about it at this point. If there was, I would do something about it. I promise. I promise. Oh, you're at the time travel meditation? Fantastic. Some of this book I wrote right after I wrote Supercharged. And while I was still living in Kauai. So some of this book I wrote 7 or 8 years, whenever that was, 7 or 8 years ago. Some of the communions with God. There's some of the stuff in there. When I read it again recently, right, to have this book come out, I was like, I don't know. I don't think I need to touch that at all. It's still 100% on, and it's timeless. It's like, I don't need to change any of that. And then there were some sections that I felt I wound up covering in Change Your Mind and Access Superconsciousness, but they were in the original version of the Law of Attention. But they wound up in Change Your Mind, and they wound up in Access Superconsciousness. So as I was going over the manuscript, I was like, oh, you know what? I think I covered that in and Change Your Mind. I think I covered that, and Access Superconsciousness. So I wound up taking out a bunch of stuff that you wound up reading anyway in the other books. And so then there were a couple of things that I felt that were very, very timely, like the false light. I felt that was really important that I write about that. And there were a couple other sections that I wrote very recently because just the timing of it felt very timely. And then there are sections of it, like I said, I haven't touched it from 8 years ago. Just didn't need to be touched. But I feel like it's got the right blend. Right blend. New York accent. How many votes do we have for the next one to be in the New York accent? That'd be pretty funny, right? The only problem is because I joke around so much, the where I record, they would they would probably let me go along with it for a while. Forget about it. How's that? That's just a tease. It's just a tease. Ask Merlin for a spell to replace the narration with your voice, right? I really feel, other than my first book, I've been more excited about this one. And truthfully, this is my favorite book. It really is. And I love Supercharged. I love Change Your Mind, Access Superconscious. And they're very different from each other, too. Change Your Mind is, I guess we could say clinical, for lack of a better word. It's kind of clinical. But for what it is, I think it's just really on point. Supercharged. I'm so tempted to write Supercharged Part 2, to be honest. I'm so tempted about that. I had to take a lot out of that book. I did. And plus, there's some things that I would add now in terms of healing. That may happen. Don't hold me to that. It may happen. I may write a Supercharged Part 2. And then Access Superconsciousness, that really came from teaching a course, self-mastery course. Those of you that are familiar, I was teaching a course on what self-mastery is, and I thought it made sense to actually capture this in a book. So that book came from a course. So they've all kind of like shaped themselves almost uniquely. Really, now that looking back on it. And I tend not to look back on anything, to be honest. So it's interesting on a day like today when a book comes out, I allow myself to kind of look back for a moment. And I allow myself actually to feel a sense of, I guess we could call it pride. I'm proud of the work. I pour everything that I have into the work, as always. But I feel proud of it. I really do. Self-mastery graduates are incredible. Absolutely. Yeah. If some of you are not familiar with the other books, by the way, Supercharged Self-Healing is obviously about healing. That's the healing technique that I use to unparalyze myself and heal myself of all sorts of other stuff. And it's the same exercise and protocols that I've helped. Helped thousands and thousands, even in person, other people heal themselves. And their stories are in there too. So healing, mental, emotional, physical, or all the above. That's the book. Change Your Mind is really the Bible on how to deprogram your mind and manage your energy and how to express the real you. I mean, it will literally give you the step-by-step process to remove all the limiting beliefs, and then actually give you a step-by-step process, a quantifiable system to measure your ROI on your energy, what you're putting your attention on. So Change Your Mind is almost like $3. So if you're interested in removing the limiting beliefs and starting to manage your energy in a much more masterful way, Change Your Mind is the book. Access Superconsciousness is really, it's got 24 teachings and 24 meditations that are otherworldly, I guess you could say. Um, if that calls you, 24 different timeless teachings and 24 accompanying meditations to go with it. And also there's a section on the Ascended Masters as well, if that's of interest to you. That's in Access Superconsciousness. When you look at all the books, at least those 4 books, we cover a wide swath of there is a wide swath of knowledge. So I already know what the next book is, by the way. I already know. So I'm just going to tease you. Which book do you read every day? Access Superconsciousness? I'm totally mind blown by this book. Oh, I'm glad, Rua. Listen, I said that this is the best metaphysical book ever written. It's not hyperbole. It's not. This is the ultimate guide to metaphysical mastery, the law of attention, without question. I wanted to make sure I left the guide here for everybody. You'd like to see something about, what is that? Magic Bones? I can't quite read that. Oh, by the way, as well, I've been doing Audible Change Your Mind, doing the journaling for weeks. Excellent. It Change Your Mind, by the way, was, because as you know, I always do this stuff with myself, right? So Change Your Mind was really the genesis for all of this money manifestation teachings. I have courses on it. There's a chapter in this book. It was while I was doing Change Your Mind that I realized these deep programs that I was running about money. And I was like, I'm deleting all these. This is crazy, right? And I've talked about this and done interviews about this. After I did that, I announced, I said, watch. I said to Amar, I said, watch what happens. Watch money just start flying in from like all these other places. And in a week, $100,000 in 1 week. So it removing the programs is the key, which is also what's missing in today's teachings, other than mine, about they don't even address deprogramming. They don't even address that, which is insane. Your subconscious mind is what's responsible for 95% of your reality creation. Without deprogramming, I mean, you're moving furniture around in the same room. You're not going to get anywhere. But Change Your Mind shows you how to do it. And this book's got that whole chapter, and of course, I have several courses on money map that actually work. So, that's what I wanted to tell you. So I am doing a brand new course. There is a link. There's somewhere a link in there in the chat. You can just sign up for the wait list. I'm going to do a live course intro coming up. It's brand new. Never taught it before. Nothing like it. It's called Unleash the Dragon. There's never been a course like this. So if you, Unleash the Dragon. So if you just want to sign up on the wait list, you're not committing to anything, but the course is fantastic. But I'm going to do a live course intro. I'm going to go over everything that's in the course. And am I doing that? I'm doing that. I'm doing that Sunday. Hey, okay. So sign up. It's just for the wait list, and then you can attend the live course intro, and I'll go over everything in it. It's phenomenal. The only thing I'll say about it, and you can, when you click on it, you'll be able to see some of it. Many of you are probably familiar with the 7 Hermetic principles. You may have heard that before. That was given to us by the being known as Thoth. Thoth, another incarnation of Thoth, is Buddha, right? So it's the same consciousness, right? Just different incarnation. So what I wanted to do was to actually go further than the 7 Hermetic principles in terms of the eternal and immutable laws that make up existence itself, what they are, and how to align oneself with them and harness them at your benefit. Most of us have never heard of some of these laws, probably the majority of them. You've never heard them before, but yet this is actually what is shaping reality. And we're oblivious to them because we're not given a real education, right? But that's part of why I keep coming back here, so we can have a proper understanding of metaphysics and how these things really work. So Unleash the Dragon, I'm going to reveal the 12 eternal immutable laws of how creation actually works, how to work with them, align yourself, and harness them properly. And yes, we actually go beyond the 7 Hermetic principles. We, believe it or not, we actually do. So that's Unleash the Dragon. And I think, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And again, it's exciting for me, just like this book is exciting because it's new information for people. It's fun for me to share it because it's not necessarily something I've taught, 10 times already. So they use all 3 books all the time. Took self-mastery because of the eternal truths. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Monica. Yeah, please email us your success stories. Info at Supercharged. Please do. There was another. What did I want to tell you about one of these chapters? Oh yeah. Okay. So, what chapter is this? This is. Well, I'm not finding the beginning of it. Oh, there it is. Okay, chapter 12, the ritual of identification. So where I tell the story about my earthly father, who was dying of ALS, and my father was very, very virile, incredible athlete. At 55, he announced that he's going to start doing ultra marathons. Who just announces I'm going to start running ultra, which is a marathon and then another half one without stopping. So that's my father. So anyway, so he always associated himself with his physicality, being a great athlete. And when obviously when he got an ALS, which is horrifying for anybody, it was, I think, especially horrifying for him because of what was happening to his body. He's so deeply identified with being strong and athletic. And I remember my mom calling me like, you need to talk to Dad. I'm like, oh, okay. But I could tell how she said it, that it was a real big deal. So anyway, my father, the first thing he asked me is like, he's like, what do you know about suicide? So I didn't need to know more information about what the problem was going on with my parents. Well, obviously, my dad had probably said he wants to kill himself because of what was happening. And so in that chapter, I talk about what actually occurs when one ends their incarnation. What happens, the evolutionary shortfall that you end up owing to others that you had planned experiences with. So we have these experiences to accrue and deepen our evolutionary content. And when these things are mapped out, think of it as a soul contract. When these things are mapped out, and then we terminate our life, there were certain instances and experiences that we were meant to have with one another for our own evolution. Everything is for our own evolution. And when we end that, those experiences don't come to fruition. So there was planned or expected evolutionary content to be gained from those experiences, and now they're not going to happen. And so when you take your life, you actually owe these other souls the evolutionary shortfall that would have occurred through these experiences because we ended our incarnation early. And then I told him what also happens about sort of, you could think of it as being put in quarantine, because the energies are, we have gotten so dysfunctional and disharmonious that we would end up taking our life, that octopus in the tentacle, we would not bring back up that aspect, because the energies are so disharmonious, it would actually infect the larger body of energy of our higher self. And so when a soul takes its life, it's kind of, it's pulled up a little bit, but it's kind of just like, just think of quarantine. It's kind of put in an area where it can't infect the rest of the higher self. And so it's not like purgatory. Don't think of it that's biblical. No, but it is like a quarantine. And the soul gets a big timeout, if you will, starts to spend a lot of time with its guides and helpers. The guides and helpers are also, I'm not going to say responsible. It's not necessarily the right word, but it's more like you start to figure out and go over, why did this massive lack of communication happen, where I, as a guide or helper, could not communicate with you and get through to you? Where did I fail in being able to get through to you, so we would be able to move past whatever you were suffering from and not end the incarnate? So there's a whole, I went on and on, as I always do. I went on and on and on with my dad about all this. I knew he needed to hear it, because he was clearly thinking about ending his life. So, and that's in that chapter. And I'm happy to say, according to my mom and according to him, he never thought about it again and never mentioned it again. So, and that hopefully that it's in this book officially. So though anybody that you know, or even yourself, because I've been there, contemplating taking your life, don't, and read that chapter. You'll understand it. There's always people that are available to you to talk to. But I know what that's like. I was suicidal as well, so I get it. I also get what occurs when you do it. It's not worth it. Trust me when I tell you that. Okay. Contemplated it many times. All good now. I'm happy to hear that, James. I'm happy to hear that. Sensitive people, this is not that unusual. I mean, it's not, right? I mean, actually going through with it, I guess, is probably not typical. But in terms of feeling that way, I don't think it's that unusual. Sensitive beings. This place, this low frequency is traumatizing. I mean, it is. It absolutely is. It doesn't get any harder than this. So, and hopefully all the work that I do and me being here is a safe haven for everyone, an oasis of higher consciousness. We're able to learn how to work with yourself properly and optimally, and be able to move through this incarnation with grace and with joy and with success, with absolute success, right? We're way past now that money is a bad thing, right? We've talked about this enough. And if you're still unsure about that, you make sure you buy this book, and you make sure you buy it for someone who's struggling with this. We have to move past. Money is energy. Why would you have a problem with energy, right? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. That's religious and spiritual programming. That's what that is. Making you broke and disempowered. It drives me nuts, because we are the exact opposite. I hope one day to sit and share a meal with me. You never know. You never know. Yeah. All you have, if you're stuck with anything, my friends, all you have to do is ask yourself one question, just one question, and you'll be able to move past everything. Okay? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? There you go. And then fucking do it. You hear me? That's how you transform your life. So simple. What would I do if I wasn't afraid? You'll get a clear landscape. I promise you. You'll have clarity and a clear landscape. And then do it. Period. That's how you overcome anything. Just that. Simple. Simple. The meal might be a peanut butter on rye. Maybe. Maybe. You never know. Action. That's right, Yvonne. Action, action, action. If I lost your first book, would I benefit by starting with your second book, Change Your Mind? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. I know a lot of people, depending upon where they're, what is of a paramount interest to them. I've heard a lot of people tell me that Change Your Mind is their favorite book that I've written. I mean, this one just came out, so I guess that could change. But in terms of the first three, I know a lot of people that are like, Change Your Mind is, they like them all. You might be saying that just to placate me, but they're like, Change Your Mind is my favorite book. That is so impactful. And like I said, it's kind of, in comparison, it's kind of clinical, but there's so much information and so many practical protocols and exercises to do that I can see why some people are like, oh man, this book is it. So, and I did the narration for that too. So only Supercharged did I not narrate. But yeah, change your mind is a life changer. Absolutely, absolutely. How many of you have gotten to the awareness, attention, and single pointedness of focus in the new book? Have you guys been listening to that part? Have you got to that part yet? That's how you create reality. Those three things: awareness, attention, and single pointedness of focus. You can create reality out of thin air once you master those three things. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. If you have single pointedness of focus, I'll take it further. Single pointedness of focus, and you're able to maintain that on something. You are literally drawing energies into that single pointedness of focus and literally making them materialize. So awareness, attention, single pointedness of focus. The key is to be able to maintain that single pointedness of focus while embodying the exact frequency of what it is that you desire. This is literally how you can make something materialize. See what I said? That's in the book. That's in the book. What chapter is that? Good question. You would think I would know that since I wrote it, but I really don't remember. It's early on though. It's early on. It's chapter 3. So chapter 1 is Shakespeare, God, and Saint Germain. How about that for a trifecta, right? Chapter 2 is the law of attention. Chapter 3, the 3 tiers of majesty, which are awareness, attention, and single pointedness of focus. That's just what I was talking about. So that's chapter 3. Chapter 4 is the unbreakable will. Chapter 5 is archetypes and roles within the culture industry. I hope that was very illuminating for everybody. How many different roles we're playing and identifying with that. Would you say, Jason, Change Your Mind is the most clear book on how karma is stored on the energetic bedspread? Yeah. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. So chapter 5 is archetypes and roles within the culture industry. Chapter 6, one of my favorites, the false light, spiritual grifters, frauds, and mimics. Chapter 7, the 4 anchors that human consciousness imprisons itself with. Wait till you read that. You're not going to believe how imprisoned you are when you read that chapter. And we don't realize it. We don't even realize it. Chapter 8, the only way to win is not to play. Chapter 9, how to remove the spell of aging and dying, thanks to our good sorcerer Merlin. Chapter 10, how to unlock higher intuitive functions. You want to know how to be clairsentient, clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairtactile. Chapter 10 actually explains how to do it. Actually gives you the prescriptive protocols on how to turn on higher intuitive functionality. I said this is the best metaphysical book ever written. And it is. Chapter 11, all judgment is self-judgment. Chapter 12, the ritual of identification. And if you guys haven't seen it, each chapter has got many, many, many subchapters. Many, many subchapters. Now, some of these things are only like a page or so, but there is so much covered in just one chapter. It's kind of mind-boggling, truly. So chapter 12 is the ritual of identification. Chapter 13 is on timelines. A lot of talk about that, right? How ascended masters work with their guides and each other is also in chapter 13. Your discipline is your destiny. Dun, 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 dun. That's also in chapter 13. Chapter 14. Look at chapter 14, if you can see that. Look at all the topics covered in the money manifestation section. Can you guys see that? That's that one chapter right there and then all the way down to the bottom. All that's covered. So that's why I said, if you don't have a copy, get a copy and get one more for someone who is struggling, and please give them this book. Okay? And then the last chapter is do not hope, but rather harness intention. Hope, hopium, drug, as I like to say. Another disempowering delusion is hope. Okay. So Audible for now, wait on paperback from Barnes & Noble. Yeah, and you can also get the Kindle, obviously. I recommend this, the paperback, because having it in your hands and carrying it around is important. This is so high frequency and powerful. Have a copy. Have a copy. And then I also really feel listening to it on the Audible because it's contained within my voice. The wisdom is contained within the tenor of my voice. So when you listen to the Audible, it really hits. It hits hard. Plus, I get so carried away. It's probably even just entertaining in some way to listen to me, lose it about getting so carried away about everything. This is one of the few occasions when one of my books comes out where I actually, like, I don't know what the right word is. Yeah, I guess I feel proud of the work. There's a bit of a celebratory nature to it. There's a lot of work that goes into writing a book, as some of you know. Not a lot of work in writing a shitty book. That's probably not that hard, but writing a good book definitely takes some effort. I would say writing a great book takes a lot of effort, and writing a revolutionary book requires supreme focus and concentration. But yeah, place it under your pillow at night. I'm not joking when I say this. If you get, this sounds bizarre, but it's not. If you get a copy of each one of the paperbacks, the 4 books, right? And if you're able to either sit on the floor or sit where you can actually surround yourself with the books, then meditate. They're like an amplifier because they're so high frequency and so powerful. Literally just put them around you and then either sit or, if you can. I don't like getting on the floor, not anymore, not after being paralyzed. But it's incredibly powerful. It's like a portal. It's literally like a portal because you're surrounding yourself with supremely high frequency energy that is obviously these books. So, you might look like a weirdo, that's for sure, sitting on the floor with books around you, but who gives a shit, right? Do it. What was that? What are your intentions for this book? To change the consciousness of humanity. That's always my intention. I don't have another one. I don't think I've ever had another one. And I mean ever. That is the prime directive. I feel like that's literally why I was created. So, yeah, to change the consciousness of humanity. Not just humanity, by the way, but that's been my primary focus for sure. For sure. Oh, well, thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. Um, zoned out there for a second. So next weekend is the live virtual workshop. I hope you guys enroll in that. And the the new course, I'm going to do a live course intro, Unleash the Dragon. Cool name, right? So again, all new things. We have to understand these 12 eternal and immutable laws because we're swimming in it. We're part of it, and we don't even know how this works. We're oblivious to it. We're not in alignment with it. We're not harnessing it. It's like trying to swim against the current. It's like we don't even realize it. So that's why I wanted to, or that's why I am teaching that course, so you can get a view and a perspective and understanding that it's just not available. I don't, from my perspective, we haven't gone past the 7 Hermetic principles for a very, very, very long time. For a very long time, and it's time. We absolutely can. And I'm sure I wrote about these a long time ago, but the works are probably in the cellar in the Vatican or somewhere. So, but now they're back where they belong, in your hands. So that's who should have them, you. And so that's the next course. So if you want to sign up for the live course intro, which I'll do Sunday. You're welcome. You're most welcome. You really are. What's with you and the spirit of dragons? What's with? Well, I mean, dragons are real. Forget dinosaurs, by the way. Actually, change the word dinosaur and change it to dragon, and things will start to make more sense. How's that? So that's number one. Dragons represent great wisdom, and they exist, obviously. And like I said, just switch out dinosaurs for dragons. They possess great wisdom. They truly do. And I'm well versed with them, literally and figuratively. So, I've I've worked with them and continue to work with them. I don't know how else to say it. No, dinosaurs never existed. No, no, dragons, dragons. Um, Merlin likes them too. Yeah, yeah, of course. So being able to be in communion, I mean, being able to be in communion with nature, whether it's dragons or otherwise, um, I mean, it feels like a part of me. I mean, it literally feels like a part of me, intrinsically part of me, and it just makes me think of I was at a beach in Kauai. I don't remember when it was, but there were these like 3 little young girls uh, at the shallow part of the beach. It was actually at a bay. We were at a bay. It was, I guess, technically not a beach, but it doesn't matter. But there were 3 little girls, and they kept going on and on about they wanted to see a turtle. They wanted to see a turtle. And, they it was like the biggest goal for them was to be able to see a turtle, and they were genuinely excited, right? And there's still that purity, right? They haven't been completely fucking brainwashed yet, right? So, and I was there with them, and I like their excitement and their innocence and everything, and so I kind of connected with that. And I never really do this, but I because it was so pure, um, I said, do you want to meet some turtles?" And they're like, oh, so I said, okay, okay, okay. So I went, I don't know, maybe about a little more than waist deep into the water. And I said, okay, watch, watch. I'm gonna call the turtles. You're gonna see their head pop up. Right. And so in about, I don't know, 20 seconds or maybe less. I don't really remember how long, but it was pretty quick. And then all of a sudden, the turtle head pops up, and then another one, and they go crazy. I mean, crazy, screaming, like just joyous. One ran to get their dad to pull their dad in. Look, he's talking to turtles. He's bringing the turtles. I tend not to do stuff like that because it draws attention to oneself, but under the circumstances, it's a little different. It's a little different. But anyway, just the connection with nature, whether it's with dragons or turtles or whatever. I remember that though. I would do it again under those circumstances. I would do it again for sure. You can't touch turtles, by the way, in Kauai, or not just Kauai, Hawaii. I lived on the island of Kauai. That is I think that you can be arrested for touching turtles. It's like a big deal. It's a big deal. And boy, I broke that law. I mean, they just came right up to me. I put my hands on their shells. So maybe it's not against the law if you're a sorcerer. So I don't know. I didn't get arrested though. You lived in Kauai? What part of Kauai? What part of Kauai did you live? I lived in Lihue and Kalaheo. Lihue and Kalaheo. Yeah, they're protected. You're not supposed to mess with them. And I wasn't messing with them, but I did touch them. Hey, this, I called, they came. And so I put my hands on. Oh yeah, the dolphins too. Oh man, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Like that was yesterday too. That was really trippy. They did the same thing with dolphins one time. And one of the dolphin handlers freaked out, just totally freaked out. He's like, "Are you psychic?" And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, "They love psychics. They love psychics." He goes, "That was incredible." So I had one come up and come out of the water, just zoomed over to me and came up out of the water. And by the way, that interaction with that dolphin, that is the most sentient, physically incarnate being that I've ever communicated with, was the dolphin. That consciousness of that dolphin was beyond human consciousness. That was the most sentient, incarnate, living being that I've met as RJ in person, incarnate. I've definitely communicated and communed with things not necessarily incarnate that's beyond that, but I'll never forget that. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I do the same with women. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, whales are amazing too. Whales are amazing too. Okay. Well, is there that is my one request. Buy one more for someone that needs help. That you can change their life with this book. And I'm just thinking particularly of the money manifestation because I know what a struggle that is for a lot of us. So I know there's someone that you care about that is struggling. Just get them this. Just give them this. Tell them just start on chapter 14. Just start on chapter 14 and read that. Read that. The wait list for the live course intro Sunday on Unleash the Dragon. And next weekend is our live virtual workshop where we will for the whole weekend, we will go into this book and deconstruct and go a little further with some of the teachings. And we'll do the spell, how to remove the spell of aging and dying together. So get ready for that. And we'll definitely do the time travel meditation together for sure. Next weekend at the live virtual workshop. Um, get ready to strap yourself in. So, has anyone done the time travel meditation, by the way? Has anyone done it yet? I know Justin said he did it. He couldn't believe what happened. I mean, how could you not believe what happened? It's a time travel minute. That's the whole intention. But anyway, has anyone done it? It's surrender. This is how you time. This is how you do it. So, like, what's the astral project? Right. This is beyond astral projection. It's beyond astral projection because astral projection doesn't necessarily allow you to jump to different quote unquote time, if that makes sense. So astral projection more has to do with location and not necessarily time, if that makes sense, right? So this is a little different. This allows you, so look at it, we could look at it this way. If you're in a maze, right, and right or left, and you don't know what's on the other side if you make a right, you don't know what's on the other side if you make a left when you're in the maze, right? But if you kind of lifted up, so to speak, and you're able to look down at the maze, at the whole maze, in that instant you would know everything in 1 second, and then you could project yourself, your attention, into whatever part of the maze you want to experience. So the time travel meditation is kind of like that in regards to space-time. It'll give you the instruction, and we'll do it together next weekend. It gives you the instructions on how to kind of rise above space-time. And then based upon the specificities, you can actually then insert yourself exactly into the space-time that you want to experience. And I was doing this as a kid. I had no idea what I was doing in terms of my intellect. It just came naturally to do it, leaving my body and doing those things. I hadn't developed any attachments or identifications, and still haven't, with being human. So I would just naturally do that. But then, as I became an adult, I developed an intellect enough to understand what I was doing, and then of course I could reverse engineer it and teach it. Right? If you would have asked me, how was I doing that as a kid, I wouldn't have been able to really answer you. I would have been like, you just do it. Oh, thanks. So, but now there's actual specifics in terms of how to do it. Okay. I've noticed, RJ, it's hard to be a good person when you are unhappy. How does one become a better, kinder when in pain? Oh, well. So, fortunately or unfortunately, Josh, I know great pain. So it's non-identification or attachment or detachment is really the key. It's the key to everything. To not identify with what you are the awareness of. So you are the awareness of pain. You're not the pain. You are the awareness. And the more that you detach from that, the less effect the pain will have, the less control it will have over your state of being when you know the truth that you are the awareness. And when you get that space, the pain will just start to die down. So I hope that helps. There's also a meditation. Is it in? It might be in my Supercharged Self-Healing course. There's a pain meditation in there that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, I was in agony. I mean, agony. Oof. And I had to heal myself in the state of where you just want to scream. I mean, literally, not an exaggeration. You can't function. That level of pain, you can't function. It's just dominating your mind. So I had to completely detach, and I developed a meditation that actually just takes the pain and just does this with it. So, and when you're in pain, it's If you identify with the pain, you're absolutely right. It's hard to stay high frequency or happy. But I promise you, if you learn how to do this, it'll have no effect. None. Nothing can touch you. Your state of being, your joy is not contingent upon bodily sensations. It's not. It is for the ego mind identity, but not for the I am. The I am state of being is not contingent upon anything. Your ego mind, it definitely is. I hope that makes sense. It works. Yeah, there's someone who did the meditation. Everything I share, my friends, in this book and all the other books and all the classes and all the courses, hey, these are not theories. These are not concepts. These are not beliefs. I'm not trying to figure jack shit out. Do you hear me? There's no figuring out or theorizing or conceptualizing, okay? This is how metaphysics work. Period. Avail yourself of them, my friends. Your quality of life will change instantaneously. The success that you have in life, the joy that you experience in life, what you're able to create in life will change drastically. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. That's how it works. Freedom and merit. Freedom and merit. Free your mind and then put in the work. That's how the evolution of consciousness takes place. Not do it for me. It should be free. Stop. Stop. The evolution of consciousness is forged by your will. Let's get that straight. Effort, focus, concentration. Your discipline is your destiny. You can do anything. You hear me? When you're armed with these teachings, the step-by-step process, you can do anything. It's not an exaggeration. Anything. Where do you think we got this saying, where there's a will, there's a way? What's that about? Chapter 4, the unbreakable will. It's in here. RJ can't stop teaching. Yeah. So true, isn't it? Okay. Right? It just happens. All right, everybody. I sometimes I still can't believe that it's here. It's finally been released. It's bizarre. I've wanted this book to come out for so long. And there was a whole bunch of stuff I had to go through to make sure that this book came out the way that I wanted it to come out, on the date that I wanted it to come out. So this was also by force of will. Trust me when I tell you that. But it's in the right hands, yours. It's in the right hands. So please enjoy it, read it, get it. If you haven't gotten it, what the hell are you waiting for? Get the paperback, the Kindle, the Audible. Get them. And please, my request is get one more copy for someone who needs it, who is struggling, who does want better for themselves, can't figure out what to do, doesn't know how to do it, trying, but just doesn't, hasn't been given the right tools. Give it to them. Give them the book. And remember what I said about August 8th, why these books keep coming out on August 8th. This is the most auspicious time for manifestation. Right now. That's why I have my work come out on these days. That's the reason. Okay. Sign up on the wait list for the live course intro. That course is incredible. See, I can say that now. We now know, right? None of this is hyperbole. When I say it's the best metaphysical book ever written, it is. This course is incredible. It is. And please pick up a copy for somebody, okay? Share it. Let them know what's possible for them. All right, everybody. You're welcome. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you, those that support the work, those that buy the books and take courses. I want to thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. I truly do. And I will keep doing this. You have my word. I never half-ass anything. And if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I will keep doing this. So I want you to know how much I appreciate you supporting me and supporting the work. I truly do. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for getting a copy of the Law of Attention. If you haven't, get it. You'll love it. And please get one more for somebody you care about. Okay. And I'll see many of you. Oh, no, I keep thinking today's Saturday. Today's not Saturday. I've been saying that all day long. Amara thinks I'm nuts. I've been saying all day that today is Saturday. She's like, it's Friday. Anyway, so I'll see hopefully a lot of you in the live course intro on Sunday. You'll get to hear all about the course. Okay, there's a link somewhere. It's probably been put in there. Lionsgate portal. Use it, use it, use it. Use it, my friends. Take advantage of it, which is part of what Unleash the Dragon is about. You have to know what these laws are. You have to know how to align yourself with them and then use them. Use their power as if it's your own. This is part of how a master operates. You harness it for yourself, but you must understand it and align yourself with it. If you don't understand it and you don't align yourself with it, there's no way to do that. And that's why I'm teaching them Unleash the Dragon. These things will be revelatory for you when I start talking about them. Be like, oh my God. Okay. All right. I'm finally going to shut up. Heather, thanks for being here. Justin, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Enjoy the book. Enjoy the book. It's a lot of fun and it's life-changing. Okay, everybody. I love you all. I only want the best for you. And I'll see a lot of you on Sunday. The Law of Attention is finally here. Take care, my friends. I'll see you soon.